For the first time, the water agency in California is looking at its headwaters on federal lands and making investments of its ratepayers' money to thin property that we think is critical to water quality and water quantity for our ratepayers. The agency owns and operates a hydroelectric and water supply project in the Middle Fork American River. We have critical watershed lands that serve our citizens, both from an energy standpoint, but also from a water supply standpoint.
The 35,000 acres behind me is really the watershed for this reservoir. And it's a combined about 25,000 acres of federal land and about 8,000 to 10,000 acres of private land.
And those headwaters lands above our reservoirs were in critical need of thinning to reduce the chance of catastrophic wildfire.
The idea with that is to create gaps in the canopy, which then will break the spread of a fire up and then also create a more diverse understory habitat.
The French Meadows project had been on the Forest Service project list for a long time, but because of their funding constraints, they weren't able to get to the project. So the agency started looking for ways to accomplish forest thinning on national forest lands. And we had to find partners in order to make that work. Chiefly, we had to work with the U.S. Forest Service because they own and operate that property.
Bringing back more of a historic fire regime to this landscape is going to benefit our watersheds, our wildlife. That's really how this landscape evolved.
The French Meadows project is really an innovative partnership, and the innovation comes from not only the multiple funding sources, but the multiple expertise that those partners bring.
And so we went out looking for opportunities to partner with folks, and we came up with two major opportunities, the state of California and the Nature Conservancy.
We've inventoried the fuels on the ground. We've modeled the potential behavior under given weather conditions and on this terrain in this watershed, so that we know the effectiveness of treatment in reducing fire danger.
We're bringing state dollars, state funding, primarily greenhouse gas reduction funding, as well as funding from the Sierra Nevada Conservancy to actually accomplish work on federal lands, which is something that hasn't been done before. And we're matching those state dollars with our ratepayer dollars, but we're also bringing in federal money as part of the U.S. Forest Service opportunity and corporate money from beverage companies like Coca-Cola and Coors who have an interest in reducing their water footprint in this watershed. So when you put all those sources of funding together, you come up with something like $12 million to accomplish thinning and prescribed fire on about 22,000 acres of federal land. This is down in the trenches getting this stuff done, and so being recognized by a statewide agency for us is just tremendous. And really what it does, it's an opportunity to spread this message of how we did this project in a collaborative way. And our sincerest hope is that other watersheds, other water agencies, other people with energy projects look at what we've done here and try to duplicate it in their watershed. That's the only way we're going to get California forests back into good shape.